start? We want to start with like the state of comic book movies and TV shows right now.
Yeah, because I remember we, for the listeners and viewers, we tried to do this episode before and we kind of screwed it up. So we're trying to do it again.
This is like the original episode redone because we
sort of the Redux HD remix.
So it's like this time we kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah.
I guess we could start with TV since there's a lot less to cover.
Oh my God.
Matt is. Well, I mean, I know you haven't dabbled into any of it at all, but so Marvel just launched Daredevil on Netflix yesterday.
I haven't gotten to watch
We
it.
haven't watched
I heard
any
it's
of it
good
yet.
though.
I heard it's very, very good.
I haven't watched any. I might watch it. Although, is it connected to the whole universe or
Yes.
no?
It
is
connected, but
It
I mean,
is.
I'm pretty sure it stands on its own.
I don't
It
know.
stands on its own, but it is connected to the universe.
All right. Well, I mean, I
There's
might.
a good possibility you might see Daredevil.
It's on
in, like, a movie
Netflix, so
later.
the thing I like about it, though, and I haven't watched it yet, but the thing I like about it is that it's on Netflix. So it's like, oh, if I'm gonna watch it, I
There it
can
is.
watch
Well,
it. You know, there it is.
It's
So
also they can do whatever they want on that.
They
medium.
can do whatever they want.
It is TVMA. It's supposed to be the darkest thing that's been. In the
oh,
Marvel
really?
universe. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
It's
this
gritty
sounds awesome.
and violent.
Which is awesome.
Okay.
Daredevil, like
More down for that.
I haven't touched on some of the Frank Miller Daredevil comics, which I know everyone probably would say is the classic run, but the Brian Michael Bendis, the Ed Brubaker, and the Kevin Smith stuff is what I've read.
I mean, Jeff Loeb also.
Yeah, the Daredevil Yellow, good stuff.
Isn't Jeff Loeb like the executive producer anyway?
Probably. I mean, I think that's the only Daredevil book he's ever written, but it's still awesome.
I honestly kind of liked the yellow suit. It was really cool.
I haven't.
But I like.
I haven't. I mean, I haven't
too.
really seen what either of the suits look like in the TV show.
I think I saw a
seen 'em.
picture.
I've just seen the black ninja-looking suit. He's wearing.
I saw when they revealed the red suit, and it looks pretty cool.
I just saw that like the image leaked because the whole season's out, so I'll wait. I'm gonna see it like as I'm going with the show.
Right.
I don't have. I'm not watching it just yet because my fiance and I are currently watching a different Netflix program, Bloodline, and we don't want to be in that point where we're like, we should really finish Bloodline, but I really want to watch Daredevil.
Yeah,
I want to watch that with the Tina Fey show also.
Oh.
I watched that.
Yeah, I
That
heard
was
that's
good.
great.
I liked it a lot. Here's my problem. There's too much at this point. Like, there's so much stuff. Everybody's like, you should be watching Game of Thrones. You should be watching this. You should be watching that. It's like, God damn it.
You should be watching Game of Thrones.
Well, I am, but I'm saying, there's a lot of things to watch. It's like, oh, if you want to watch all these superhero TV shows, sometimes they like.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
Sometimes they coincide, and sometimes they like go together. It's like, God damn it!
We'll get to more, but to me, the must-watch superhero TV show is The Flash. But we'll get to that. We'll keep going with Marvel.
I will tell you though that is the story of my life. Like we're still like, oh man, new and old shows. We're like, oh, we gotta watch Game of Thrones. We gotta get back to Sopranos. We gotta watch Doctor Who. We gotta watch this and that.
You should just binge watch Game of Thrones because. I mean, it's a lot less to catch up on than some of those other things you're mentioning. And like, I don't know,
anyway,
man.
The Flash.
They know how to. They know. Well, sticking with Marvel.
Sticking with Marvel.
They just announced an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off. I have no idea what they're going to do.
It's probably gonna be like Skies and Humans or something like that.
You think
but
so?
Do you really think that they'd splinter her off from the main show?
No, she's the main character.
Yes,
Her and Coulson are Coulson and May.
Yeah. Are
the three main characters of that show. To me, that they could I don't know how far you are in the show, but now there's like
I haven't seen the most recent.
There's like another branch of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, I haven't seen the most recent 2 episodes.
I'm like 3 behind.
Yeah,
so it's that other older branch of S.H.I.E.L.D. that wants to wipe out Coulson.
Yeah, with Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, so I mean, you just had Agent Carter too, so you could talk about like the in between.
I like
phases of
Agent
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Carter.
I think Agent Carter's much better than Agent.
It was
S.H.I.E.L.D.
good.
Agent Carter was really good.
Here's the thing about
good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't bad. It's better than it was the first season.
Here's the thing about Agent Carter, though. It was only 6 episodes.
8 episodes.
Oh, was it 8?
It was 8.
I don't know. It was only like 8 episodes.
It fit neatly into the mid-season hiatus.
And they left it open-ended. I mean, they could do more of that show. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I thought it was really good.
Last I read it had like a 60% chance of returning or something like that.
And Haley Atwell
was enjoyable.
It was great. I loved it.
It was really fun. But that's the other thing is just like there's so much.
To me, like I'd rather not see more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I'd rather see them focus on other things like what they're doing in Netflix.
Yeah.
With their Luke Cage, Daredevil, all that good stuff.
Iron Fist
as well. Jessica Jones. So I mean, I'll give anything a fair shot, but I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not my favorite show either. I mean, I'm watching it.
I don't hate it. I think it's good. I think it's watchable.
Transitioning, the CW DC shows are all freaking amazing. I know a lot of people have trouble getting into Arrow at first.
I think
You're
it's
one of those
just
people.
the fact it's on CW, and I don't mean it
is,
like.
But I mean,
it is hard to get into. Like, speaking as a person that's only watched a few episodes of Arrow, like you rave and rave and rave about it, and I just keep asking myself. I've only watched 3 episodes, but I keep asking myself, like,
that's not much, man.
When does it get good?
Well, here's the thing: is like when they originally pitched that show, I think it was very much catered to the typical CW audience. But like as that show just kept growing and
that's
growing,
why it's so hard to get through those first episodes, because you're just like, this feels like Gossip Girl but with action sequences.
Yeah, it's like the CW shows have this look to them and this feel, and I don't know how to describe it, but my girlfriend started watching that show iZombie, and she seems to like it, but every time I look at it, I'm like, God,
I have a DVR also, just because it's a Vertigo comic. So.
I haven't watched it, iZombie, but I was like, this looks like something I'd want to like, because it's the same guys that did Veronica Mars, but it doesn't look like something.
Well, I mean,
like.
here's my deal, guys. I think CW is evolving, and their shows are getting so much better. That even that other show, Jane the Virgin, like it's winning all kinds of awards. Supposed to be amazing. And like I think like once you get past like the first season of Arrow, and once they realize, okay, we could find a way to make this, interesting for fans of the comic books, and and for people who are watching it for of course the guys on the show also. And I want to say that the Flash is just on a completely different level than the Arrow as well. And
I do want to watch the Flash, but if I'm gonna watch those, I want to do it right. Where it's like, okay, I've watched the first 2 seasons of Arrow, and I know that the Flash spun off after this, so that's when I'm gonna start the Flash.
Well, Barry Allen first shows up in the middle of Arrow season 2, and I mean, from what you've seen so far, Oliver Queen does not give a fuck about killing anyone in that first season. It's very gritty, and it's like after the second season, when he kind of starts facing his demons and he meets Barry Allen, that's when he starts wearing a mask. That's when he starts refusing to kill people. He wants to do things the right way.
I am, excited about the things that come out of this. Like the Atom thing and Rip Hunters in the Atom and whatnot.
To me, the thing that makes Arrow so great is not Oliver Queen. I love Stephen Amell. He seems like an awesome guy. Not always the best actor, but like the ensemble cast. I don't know how many of you met in that show,
Casey
but like
Jones.
Felicity, Roy Harper, Diggle, Ray Palmer, like the supporting characters in the show are so damn good. And then, speaking of all these other shows, DC just recently announced that they're going to do a DC team-up show. And the show is going to be anchored by Ray Palmer and Black Canary. And they've already casted someone as both Hawkgirl and as Rip Hunter.
I saw that.
And I think that's just
that's
amazing.
I heard about Hawkgirl. I saw Rip Hunter.
Even Jeff Johns
you
has
didn't
said...
see a picture of her?
I didn't see a picture.
There's a picture of the actress. There's not
that's what I mean.
I didn't see
but
it.
I mean, even Jeff Johns has said if it wasn't for Arrow, like being this successful, all these second and third tier DC characters would never have a shot at being on the big screen, and they would have never announced all these ambitious Justice League projects.
Yeah.
And to me, like Marvel's always been great about exposing their characters in different mediums, but DC, it's like people know Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Maybe like a few of them know like the Flash and Green Lantern as well. Now the Flash is huge, of course.
Right.
But there's so many other great characters like the Atom, like Booster Gold, Hawkman, and Hawkgirl.
I've always championed that I wanted to see Booster Gold on the screen.
All these great characters in there. And like this team up show is the perfect way to have a Brave and the Bold type setup where there's a different team up every day.
I would love to see a Blue and Gold series. That would be rad.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's just like, I'm wondering when it becomes too much. I think that
as a DC fan, I can't. I think we're just barely,
this is
starting to hit the tip of the iceberg.
I think that this is a generational thing. Honestly,
maybe I just I worry.
As children grew up with comics, and a lot of the
I still love comic books.
A lot of the people that are adults now grew up with comics too. We have people like Kevin Smith that they grew up with comics, and now they're
well, that's not what I'm arguing.
And now they grow. Now here we are, and comics have finally gone into the limelight, and now they're on television.
I say no. I say no. It's not going to get tiring, just because the quality just keeps getting better and better. And they're showing us characters that we've never seen before.
And there's no end to the content. Like, even if
keep rebooting the same thing over and over, especially with like letting such a short amount of time
and
pass.
Stuff.
Yeah, Batman.
Like Spider-Man, like Batman. I feel like there's a little bit more stories to tell with Batman. That's a character you can always keep interesting, no matter what. But I mean, if these reboots are happening too frequently and they're the same characters, then I could see your point of it getting tiring if they hadn't ventured out and tried.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean, when you think about the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, and think about how many movies there are in it.
There's going to be 20 by the end of 2019.
Exactly, and they all have an order they have to be watched in, sort of. So like, when does it come to the point when somebody's like, oh, Avengers 4 came out? I didn't see the first 3, but then people are like, oh, but you actually have to watch Iron Man and Thor and Hulk and this and that and all that. And you have to watch these ones, then Avengers 1, then all these ones, then Avengers 2.
The only movie that's been like that so far for me was probably Iron Man 2. I think everything else isn't too continuity heavy. Like, even Avengers, you could just go in fresh and watch it and enjoy the hell out of it.
I think that they've done that mostly where they're just like, it's... you can watch this alone if you really want to. Iron Man 2, I agree, was the only one that was just because of all the S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
That's like Avengers. That's Avengers Zero.
Avengers Prep.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. We'll see. I still love comic books and comic book characters, and I love all the stuff they're doing. I'm glad that all these TV shows, even though I'm not really watching them, are bringing comic book characters and worlds to audiences that wouldn't normally, most people wouldn't pick up a comic book and start reading, like just out of things. But if
we all did,
well, I know we all did because we're all, we're all nerds.
But as you get older, and we live in kind of an ADD culture where it's like for me, when I grew up reading, I loved to read when I was a kid, and I know that it's the opposite for you.
Yeah, just the opposite.
I know it's the opposite for you, but now, because I didn't have video games when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I grew up, and now I have a PlayStation 4, I have a PlayStation 3, and I'm just trying to catch up on all the old games that I never played, the games that I'm playing now, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I've got all these movies that I've never seen, I want to watch this. So now it's like I can't commit myself to sitting down and actually reading a book because it's not moving.
For me, it's not that at all. Like, I actually like reading, but I have to read things that I enjoy. And if it doesn't hook me fast enough, I'm like, I could be doing something else. It's the same thing with like movies and stuff too. If the movie's not good in the first 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, what am I doing?
That's another good thing I have to say about comic books is, like, even if you don't particularly like a certain character, they always live on forever, and there's new creative teams that really can sell you on any one character.
Like Aquaman.
Yeah, it just has to be the right storyteller behind,
Jeff Johns Aquaman, man.
Jeff Johns.
He changed my mind.
Jeff Johns everything.
He changed my mind.
Gold was a joke. Vibe was a joke, and now Vibe is like one of the main characters on The Flash, and he's amazing on that show too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do wonder this much. A lot of people are speculating that Infinity War Part 2 will be the last Avengers movie, and Avengers has been the way to like cap a phase.
I don't know if I believe that.
Well, that's what people are speculating because most of their contracts are out at that point.
Oh, that's true.
So I wonder, what are they going to do after
reboot?
Avengers 4?
Well, from what I've heard, I know it's.
Well, no, you don't even have to do that because you've got Captain Marvel.
Just keep
and
going.
Got
I don't know.
It is too hard to retain these actors for such a long period of time.
Yeah,
because I know
especially when they age.
They had to pay out Robert Downey Jr. big time just to get him back for Avengers 3 and Cap 3 as well.
Yeah,
but they did say they have a 20-year plan in mind, and then Sebastian Stan, the guy who played Bucky Barnes, is also signed a 9-movie deal, so they obviously have...
I'm sure he's probably going to replace Cap.
And there's a rumor that's saying after Avengers 2, the team is going to look nothing like it did in these first 2 movies. And then
I'm fine with that.
Civil War is going to happen, so maybe 2 or 3 of the same members will be in the Avengers team that's in Avengers 3.
Do you expect to see Daredevil in an Avengers movie?
Maybe a cameo. Or he'll be there.
I think at this point I won't rule out anything for the Infinity War movie, just because it's 2 movies. It's gonna be massive. I think the Avengers is gonna be there. Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there.
One of my things that I always kind of didn't like about one of the things I kind of like and don't like. I just thought it was weird.
How expensive it is.
Well, comic books, yes. How fucking I went in my comic book store the other day and I was like, Jesus.
I just get graphic novels.
You can't just buy one comic going to. At least I can't.
God, but no. For me, it's mainly like sometimes they refuse to evolve, and people are like, oh, we gotta have Peter Parker always. We gotta have Bruce Wayne always. We gotta have all these. It's like. I thought Batman the comic at least became a lot more interesting when like Bruce Wayne was dead for a while. Yeah, and Dick Grayson had to be Batman, and his like struggle with trying to do that. I thought that was like so interesting, and then they're like, "Oh, he's back." It's like, well, you just kind of killed
traveling through time.
You just killed something that was super interesting.
I love the experiment the DC's had with the New 52. A lot of people hate it, and a lot of people are complaining they want the old
I thought it was fine.
They want the pre-52 characters back, pre-52 storylines back. That's why they're doing that Convergence event. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much there's like a one Brainiac who oversees the entire multiverse, and he's collecting like every single Earth from every single different multiverse that exists. And he's putting them all in one space, so you have like the Flashpoint Batman with the Earth 2 characters with the DC New 52.
Aren't they doing that with Marvel right now? Also,
Sun. Yeah, they're doing this also. But I think just my point was, I think DC's doing this because there are those people that are complaining that they want the same stories back, the same. Like if comics stayed like that all the time, it definitely wouldn't keep me hooked and have me spending my money. Like I was just at WonderCon last weekend, and they were doing a Batman panel, and they were talking about Batgirl. And of course, there's always that one person that's got to come up and complain, saying they hate the New 52 because like they think it diminishes the character Barbara Gordon. It's like we're not saying that those stories that came before didn't exist. We just don't want to tell those stories forever. There's always going to be a time and a place to revisit those kinds of things.
I fucking hate that. I hate when people are like, You changed my character. How dare you? It's like, you know what? It's not your fucking character.
There are more stories.
It's like, now she's not in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Now she's not crippled, even though like Alan Moore regrets doing it and all these things. Like, God damn it.
Well, someone's at the door.
I bet that's Adam.
I bet you it is.
Pause.
Well,
Pause.
actually, for now, do you think we've kind of ran this subject out?
Yeah, kind of.
We didn't talk about the movies yet.
All right.
Sort of did, but not much.
I can't. I have to edit it out.
We'll just edit it out.
We'll just yell at Adam when he walks in.
Adam, you son of a bitch! Don't ring in the doorbell twice.
Stop ringing the doorbell!
Fucking ass.
No, you won't.
Hi, guys. Ooh.
What's up?
How you doing? You guys live?
Yeah, we were.
Sorry.
Right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of it. You can join us, though.
I can.
Well, I mean, that means I have to stop everything and start it over.
No. Well, why don't we have them join us for the part where we're talking about how we met each other?
We can do that.
Yeah.
But we're still not doing the other thing.
Since he's a regular face on Toaster Chimp anyway, he'd be good to have him on.
On Twitter, I put that I'm a frequent contributor.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's there was not enough chairs out.
We'll edit it out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll edit out this whole bit.
Even me saying that I love you, Matt.
Yep.
I love you.
All that. It's all gone. It's all gone.
I may be on the... it's not on the record, but it's in our hearts.
God wrote it on your heart, Adam. Can't you feel that?
Yeah. We'll cut it together. We'll cut it together. Close the gap.
We'll go sit.
You do that.
Just sit and listen.
You gotta climb
Listen to me
over.
talk.
Gonna make it over.
Listen to me be angry about kicks.
Are you still gonna be angry about kicks? Is that gonna be like a?
I think that it was actually funny that you thought it was a running joke, because that actually would be a funny running joke.
That kick sucked.
It was
Kicks
just the
are
best.
awesome.
Just the best part was that
It tastes like crying in the shower.
tastes like crying
Should
in
we
the shower.
talk about the origins of our friendship now?
We'll go to that one.
Do
We're
you
gonna
wanna do
get
yours
him
first?
in.
Why don't you guys finish?
Why don't we do your?
Here.
Yeah, I know you wanted to talk about video
Should we
games.
just wrap this up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then talk about video games?
Yeah.
And then
we'll get him in.
Okay. So we were talking
We
about
had to
how
do
people...
We had to do a quick cut because there was a thingy.
There's an issue we got.
But we're gonna keep going.
We close the gap. It's all right.
We're talking about how people don't, or certain. Oh, I guess this is true with any medium.
Anything.
Some people hate change.
People fucking hate change. Like with Matt and I experienced this when the new Devil May Cry came out.
Yeah.
And people complain like, "Oh, he doesn't have white hair." It's like, who
wrote
gives a shit?
Yeah,
He's way cooler.
Yeah, they were like, he doesn't have white hair, and he's not so much of an asshole.
Yeah, he's an actual good character now.
To me, it's like it's okay to try and fail at something. It's not like you can't.
I think
go
you might
back
as well
to what
give
you
it
were
a
doing
shot,
before.
Right?
Life's too short to not take a chance, right?
Right, and I but also, you know, people's ideas evolve over time. Just the world evolves over time. I think comic books have to evolve over time too. You can't just stay. We can't all stay in the fucking 70s. You know what I mean?
We were still reading Golden Age comics. I don't think any of us would.
Right. I brought that point up to Nicole the other day. I was like, what if Superman never changed? What if he still had that dumb fucking S on his chest? You know, just the little
what? I'm sorry now.
No, the little normal S. You know what I mean?
Like from the Fleischer cartoons, where
it was just an S.
The only Superman logo the only one that I can draw.
Let's get this straight. Not the emblem that we know today. I'm talking about the first issue of Superman.
The upside down.
It looked like a fucking typeface.
The upside down triangle with
just the little S in the middle of it.
That.
Yeah, that. What if he still looked like that? You'd be like, this guy looks like a fucking dork. And that now when you see it, you're like, oh, that's nostalgic. But when you see Superman now, you're like, that's how I imagine he would look. You know, that the costume evolved over time, and now there's the new costumes. Same with like
the one where he looks like Superboy.
Same with like the Wonder Woman
after Convergence.
The Wonder Woman costume, like the changes they've made look so fucking awesome, and they look good, and yet people still complain.
The costume looks good, but the comic sucks.
Before I forget,
doesn't matter.
Before I forget,
costume's fine.
Before I forget about Convergence,
yes, sir.
I saw the pictures of the outfits after Convergence, and I did not like Batman's.
I have to see I have to look at what you're talking about later.
It was like some kind of some big robotic armor.
It looks like after post Convergence, they've announced like some of the solicitations, and some of the books are going to remain completely the same, but then there's like 20 or so new series spinning
Jesus
off
Christ.
out of it. Well, I mean they canceled a crap load of books.
Right.
Before,
I know,
before
but
it
still.
ended. But
I mean,
like the cool thing about that event is there's a lot of awesome tie-in books. Like if you pick up Superman. It's like the Dan Jurgens, the guy who wrote and drew Superman in the 90s, like around the death of Superman. He's writing that. And there's like Greg Rucka came back to DC to write like a question book. Ooh. There's like a Nightwing and Oracle book for those people who keep complaining about Barbara Gordon, which is awesome. Gail Simone's writing that. Anyway, things always have to change to retain our interest. At least I feel that way.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, is there more that we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, this is a little bit of older news now, but I mean, DC has. Well, no, actually, this is brand new news. I believe their name are the guys who did 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and the Lego Movie. They are writing the Flash movie, and there's even a rumor that they might direct it.
So is it connected to the TV show or
no?
Not?
This is the one that's going to be connected to.
Which just seems
like
silly.
This is actually kind of cool because. There's the whole Zack Snyder universe. Everything's really dark, gritty, realistic, and these guys are known for like their brilliant
silly
comedic writing skills. And I think you need that kind of lightheartedness in a Flash movie,
right? Sort of like the way Guardians of the Galaxy
and then,
kind of lightens up the Marvel.
The guy who directed The Conjuring and the latest Fast and the Furious movie, he's actually rumored to direct the Aquaman movie, and I think that's a great pairing actually because
James Wan.
He can. I mean, that was his first action movie with Fury 7. I thought he did a really great job with some of the action scenes.
I haven't seen it yet, but
I think that's also a perfect pairing. I mean, we'll see. I mean, DC's got those two movies on the way, and they got Suicide Squad. I'm still worried. I like David Ayer. I'm still worried about that movie. Like every time you hear news about it, it's like they're adding 5 more characters.
Yeah.
There's production delays because of rewrites. Somebody dropped out of the movie. Tom Hardy, Yeah. So I mean,
every time I see a picture of Jared Leto, though,
there's pictures of Jared Leto out on the internet now, not in full costume. There's pictures of Jason Momoa as Aquaman. There's a picture of Jesse Eisenberg now as Lex Luthor. I'm remaining as optimistic as possible about this new DC movie universe, but I'm finally glad it's happening, reverting back to the TV shows because they took a chance on Arrow and because they took a chance on the Flash.
I know that regardless of the fact if Batman and Superman sucks, it's the first time that Batman and Superman are on the screen together. So we're gonna see it.
I hope it doesn't suck. Just because, like, Ben Affleck got his screenwriter who wrote Argo to rewrite the script. Because I mean, David Goyer's kind of a mediocre writer, in my opinion.
I agree.
And he wrote Man of Steel, and he did write the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy. But then he had like Chris Nolan and Jonathan Nolan there to to steer him in the right direction. Yeah. You can't let that guy just do his own thing, or else it'll be disastrous. I mean, Man of Steel's not a terrible movie. I think there are some great like sci-fi elements to that movie. There's some clever things that they've done with Superman that they haven't done in a movie yet.
It's not my favorite.
But there's way too much action in that movie. Yeah, it's not my favorite recent. I still wave my flag for Brandon Routh.
Yeah, me too.
We're the minority there, but he's on Arrow now. He's the Atom.
Yeah,
so.
There you go.
Yeah,
he's getting work.
Optimistic about what DC's doing. I'm just like we were saying about people getting tired of seeing superhero movies. I'm definitely not. I love Marvel and DC, but DC's always been closer to my heart, and I'm glad we're finally going to see some of these characters on the big screen.
Yeah.